Easily one of the most popular urban legends among teenagers, Bloody Mary is basically a demonic summoning rumor. If you follow the steps, you will be summoning the spirit of Mary Worth, a woman who is supposedly executed for being a witch. To do this, you must go into the bathroom, turn the lights off, light a candle, and say Bloody Mary 3 times. Then, after a few seconds, Mary will appear in the reflection of the mirror to do with you what she will. There are many different variations of this story, but here's my personal favorite. A man is driving down a lonely road and sees a young woman on the side of the road trying to catch a ride home. The man pulls over, greets the woman, and she tells him where she lives. They then proceed to drive to that location, nobody really saying much, if anything at all. They reach the destination, and the man turns to let her know that they have arrived and to wish her good night, but she's nowhere to be seen. Confused, he walks to the household that supposedly the woman lived in and knocked on the door. A couple that looks maybe in their late 40s answers the door. The man explained that he just dropped the woman off, but she just disappeared without a trace, and he was wondering if she somehow arrived safely. After a few minutes of conversation, the man finds out that the woman did in fact live here, before she died in a tragic car accident many years ago in the same spot where he picked her up in the first place. A girl's parents were about to go out for the night, meaning she'll be home alone all night long. The parents, feeling bad that the girl will have to be home alone all night, get her a new dog to accompany her throughout the night. Eventually, the girl gets tired and falls asleep. She soon wakes to the dog licking her fingers, along with the curious dripping sound, which is too loud for her to sleep over. She gets up, tightens the tap so no sound comes out anymore. After doing so, she returns to bed. This process repeats numerous times throughout the night. Eventually, she gets sick of the sound, so she decides to get up again, but this time she tries to determine where the leak is coming from, since it clearly isn't coming from the tap. She reaches the source, and what she sees is horrifying. She walks in to find her dog in a closet, its neck slit, with a note nearby saying, "Humans can lick too." A woman is driving down a dark, lonely stretch of road only to have a stranger pull up behind her and start flashing his lights behind her. This continues all the way to her home, and when she pulls to her driveway, she gets ready to run into the house as fast as she can, only for the stranger to get out of his car, yelling at the woman to lock her doors and call the police. Later, the woman learns that the stranger was trying to protect her. In the woman's backseat was a killer holding a butcher knife ready to stab her to death. The stranger noticed the glimmer of the knife and brightened the lights to get her attention, only to have the figure duck down so the lights can't hit him. This tells the story of a babysitter who's taking care of a 5-year-old boy while the parents are out on a date, something they haven't done for a while. After about an hour of babysitting, the babysitter starts to get strange calls from an unknown number, with the stranger asking her questions that slowly get more and more personal and creepy. The last question the man asks her is, "Have you checked the children?" Eventually, the woman gets creeped out, so she calls the police, who trace where the calls are coming from. They then proceed to call the babysitter back and tell her to get the kid out of the house immediately because the calls are coming from another phone within the house itself. She gets upstairs to retrieve the kid, only to find that it's too late. He has already been killed.